So on the sidebar here, you can see that I've got 4 entries here. Each of these is a Git repository that I've got set up in DevSwarm. Here is the repository dashboard. The repository dashboard has some nice recommendations on things that I can get working, such as the recent branches that I was recently working on. Hitting this play button will start an isolated workspace that allows me to iterate in that branch safely without affecting any other ones using a command line AI like Claude Code. And they've also got recommendations if you're not sure how to start. But I know what I want to do. I've been thinking about this all day. So I've got one of my games. I've got an app about day trading I'm calling Rug Pull. I've got an app that I think could make meeting folks at conferences a lot more enjoyable, and another game that I had it's been on my mind. And so I know on this one, this is an old game, I'm going to work on the fix the map rendering branch. But also in each of these, which are new ideas that I want to get started on, I've started 2 workspaces apiece, setting up the project and writing out the docs. So one's going to scaffold the code base and one's going to write the documentation. Let me show you what that looks like. So this is Claude Code. I'm going to go ahead and send off the prompt I have to start working on the map rendering I mentioned earlier. And then, you can see me expand here, I've got several other workspaces ready to go. And so this one I've gotten started. And now, there we go. Going to go ahead and start sending out the project docs. And using the hotkeys, I can quickly move between all of these and start the process with all the AIs, moving very, very quickly. Now, as the AI is thinking, I've got a lot of stuff happening here, right? So I'm now able to become an engaged participant in the process of working on these code bases. I don't have to wait for the AI. I just move on to the next AI and wait to see if it's got something it needs from me. And generally speaking, with this many repositories and this many branches, there's always going to be something for me to be doing. And now you can see I'm working on 4 different code bases right now, all making forward progress. And one thing that's really nice about this is that, generally speaking, I don't usually set my AI to auto-edit, to auto-fire, because I like to be able to see every change that it's got in the works. But if you're blocked all the time, if you're always waiting for the AI, generally speaking, it's more productive to just set them to auto-fire and hope that they make all the right decisions. By being able to work at scale like this, I'm able to quickly evaluate the changes it's proposing and then agree or disagree. And generally speaking, if you have a good, clear vision of what you want to build, this matches up with exactly with what I want to build. You don't need to spend too much time reviewing each of the different snippets of work that it's doing. You can quickly approve or reject and guide it. And that means that the entire process is a lot smoother. The outcomes are of a lot higher quality because you're always in control. You're always able to evaluate the output that the AI is creating. And so with this, I'm scaffolding out 3 different projects, and I'm working on one particularly complicated issue that will hopefully result in a really pleasant outcome here. What's really helpful is that each of the different builders has a purple dot that will show when it's ready for feedback from me. And so, generally speaking, I'm just racing between each dot to provide the feedback that it needs to move forward. So here's the first example where I can take a moment to read what the AI has been working on. And so this is okay. I'm not worried that the other AIs are waiting on me. I'm moving as fast as I can think. I don't need to worry about the other AIs. This is as fast as we need to go because the only thing that matters is doing things correctly. And so it's okay to let the AI, hang on while you're working. It shouldn't be the other way around. Okay. one thing I do like to do is I generally default to letting the AI run everything. And the reason for that is that when something bad happens, it knows enough to address the problems that may come up. Cool. Okay, looks to me like the Phoenix machine has started our little Hello World mono game. Let's go ahead and look at the code. So we can click here to open our editor and look at our file system, and then we can look at some of the files that it's generated. And that roughly looks like what I was expecting for a simple Hello World. Nice. So I prefer to have the AI go ahead and commit for me. The documentation's been finished. I can go ahead and open the file system to look at the README and then have the nice rendering of the markdown document, and that matches what I was hoping to see. Yes. Looks to me like it's fixed my rendering issue on my CRPG game. What's really fun with this game is I'm trying... I see the issue. This is fun. So the previous issue was that the field of view system was overlaid here, but because I fixed the black screen, we've got an issue. So we're almost there. One of the mechanics is that you can carry your character back to be healed at the medical thing here. Oh, shoot. Oh, cool. They're good. All right, so we almost fixed this issue. All right, documentation, we've committed that. So I'm going to use my hotkey to go ahead and merge back into my base branch. Successfully merged. Going to kill that builder. Go ahead and merge this. All right. You merge from local main. Okay. Awesome. This is something I really enjoy about AI. So Claude Code, but also I'd expect command line AI like AMP and other ones that use some of the higher fidelity models could do this, but figuring out annoying stuff like rendering order when you're working with, the GPU and stuff like that is always kind of mysterious, and it's able to really dig in and figure out what went wrong with just prose, and it's solving problems that this would have been my night. Like those kind of problems drove me nuts. Okay. Whoa. All right. Here we go. So, looks like rug pull got... All right. Oh, chart area coming soon. All right. So, it's scaffolded out. Something here. We're going to work on this, but all right. Great. So, that's a fine start to all that. So, I'm going to go ahead. Oh, go ahead. Yep. Then commit. Let's go ahead and inspect the code, make sure it feels like it's looking like what I expect. So something that's really nice that you can do in DevSwarm is that you can start other AIs running in the same terminal space. So these two Claude codes are both working in the same workspace, the setup project workspace right now. So they could technically get in each other's way, but usually what I like to have them do is one of them will be, running QA or evaluating something or doing something that's kind of read only while the other one does the bulk of the work. And you can go crazy with this, right? So I'm going to start AMP here. But I actually don't need AMP right now, but that's something you can do. And what I'm going to do is just open a terminal right here to make sure everything looks like I'm expecting it does. All right. It's looking great. Okay, let's merge that in. So looks like we have successfully set up the project for rug pull. Do that, merge in the docs. All right. But, let's not do that. Go ahead. Commit. Let's make sure the docs get committed. Then good here. So linked up is just about there. So the Phoenix machine is good to go as well, so we can kill that. So we'll get back to the Phoenix machine a little bit later. So it's really easy to forget just how much things have changed in the last 6 months, right? Like, this is, when you really think about it, really insane. I'm working on 4 different projects at once, doing some really non-trivial things here, like scaffolding out the entire code base, writing the entire project's documentation, and I'm staying completely in control the whole time. I mean, that's something else. And that's something I really like about DevSwarm is my ability to go across repos so that I can keep moving forward on all of my ideas all at once. It really makes, it works now. Look at this. Okay. So this is what I wanted. So this is that field of view system. You don't really see, actually it's been a little while since I've played any modern games, but a nice field of view system with a party. So goal here is to try to make this a, kind of a, see, that's my next bug I'm going to try to figure out. My rotation logic is jank. But this is going to be a close quarters combat, but in a fantasy setting type game. But that thing's been driving me nuts. Now if I can just make the edges softer, that'll be nice. So maybe I can have Claude help me out with that next. All right, so we fixed a bug that's been driving me nuts. We have just about scaffolded out the other 3 projects that we're going to be working on. We just got a little bit left. So the thing is that we use DevSwarm to build DevSwarm at work. And this is generally speaking what my day looks like. I am usually running with 3 or 4 different builders. My record's 8 so far of working on 3 or 4 non-trivial features or bugs all at once, moving very quickly to make sure to provide what the AI needs from me, to make sure that everything is going the direction we want to go. And, you know, it's really fun. I get to see amazing things get built in front of me. I have a chance to really dig in and make sure that I understand what it's building. And at the end of the day, you can just look at everything you've got done. If you can just kind of remember before AI what it was like, you know, like this wouldn't have been conceivable, really. This if you had told me a year ago, 2 years ago, that this is where things are going to be, I wouldn't have believed you. I mean, heck, 7 months ago, when one of my engineers had me try out Claude Code and claimed that we'd be getting, you know, a month of work done in days, I didn't believe him. But now it's kind of an expectation I have. So I finally get to work on all of my projects, and they're all going to get done, like, so quickly. I might have to dig in here and see what's going on. Awesome. All right, so there's the project structure I was expecting. I got a lot of stuff done. So this is something else I like to do. I like to let the AI deal with the merge conflicts. Generally speaking, if you're working on a team, and if you're using something like DevSwarm, you are essentially working on a team because you're going to have a lot of different agents working on a lot of different features all at once. If you've done your work, if you've done your job, then you are all delegated to work on stuff that may tangentially touch each other, but never really in direct conflict. And that same skill set applies to when you are working with DevSwarm and multiple agents all working on the same project, even if they are in different work trees and stuff like that. You do eventually need to merge back into main, and so you'll need to keep that in mind when you're working. But because of that, if you have that in mind, Claude Code or AMP or any of these other command line AI, they're able to manage the conflicts pretty well usually and write more detailed commit messages. And so it's not nearly the dreadful experience that it was, 6 months ago, right? Okay, so where are we at then? It's been about 40 minutes, and so we've managed to get my game into a state, my CRPG game into a state where the field of view rendering is working. So that was one bug that I was able to fix, in a non-trivial bug. And then got my mono game wired up. So this is really simple. This is the Phoenix machine, just says hello world, but it's running mono game and it's all scaffolded out how I wanted there. And then there is the rug pull trading game. So that's got scaffolded out how I want. We're going to go work on that. All the code base and documentation is ready there. And then the Expo app, I need to do the Xcode licensing, but it's running the web version, scan QR code. All right, allow permission, allows time. Wow. I think that you need to, I have to restart things if I'm going to do that. But anyway, the Expo app itself is, it's going, whoa. Oh, great. The AI conference. Continue. Hey, look at that. That's neat. All right, great. So that's already got essentially the workflow I imagined as well. So all my apps have been scaffolded. I'm under my 45-minute limit that I'd set for myself. And that is quite incredible. I worked on 4 different projects at once in one UI, one smooth UI working with Claude Code. There's a lot of other AIs these are just the ones I have installed. I need to find a way to show you the ones that are available as well. There's a lot of them. But I look forward to doing this tomorrow and the day after that, right? Like I'm going to get so much done and it's going to be incredible. All right. It's been a blast. Thanks for joining me, guys. Till next time. All right. So it's been about 40 some minutes. I managed to get rug pull scaffolded out. So going to go move on that here soon. I managed to get the Expo app linked up, ready to go here. Scan QR code. The AI conference. Yep, there it is. And then a little bit less impressive, but my mono game is all scaffolded out. It's rendering this with on the GPU, right? So it's all ready to go there. And then on my game here, managed to fix a really challenging rendering issue that made it so that my field of view wasn't working as expected. And so in less than 45 minutes, kids are, asleep, and before I have to go prepare for the next day, all set to go do that. And I managed to get I don't know, man, this is 4 projects. Each of them, one massive bug fix. The rest of them got the documentation, the code scaffolded out and running in a good state, not just hello worlds, but actually moving in the direction I needed to move. Able to look at the code, able to inspect it, able to inquiry it, and all that, in less than an hour. And so I look forward to doing that again tomorrow and the day after and being able to work on all of my ideas all at once. All right. It's been a blast. Thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you all in a little bit.